child. Fans are concerned about Justin Bieber.
Man,
And Remy Ma says, I don't know about that live rant. And the Tate brothers, if y'all don't know nothing about the Tate brothers, they've been around a long time. They might about to get locked up, but I don't know. Check us out. All this and more on the Another Mother 21.
21,
Here we go.
21. Yep.
When I fly into the see somebody fine in their seats, what do they say? When I fly into the see somebody fine in their seats, what do they say? Hey, would you like coffee, tea, or me? Coffee, tea, or me? Coffee, tea, or me? Coffee, tea, or me?
Yes, guys, what's up? Welcome to Another Mother, episode 20. I am your host, Lisa Renee, and
21.
here's my co-host. Oh, 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the one, two, one, two,
Two,
one,
one,
oh,
two, one, two, one.
oh, one, two.
Two,
All right.
two,
Anyway,
one.
and my co-host is
Ant Wild, Big Black Ant Wheezy. What up? What it do?
yes, y'all, and I bring the zen.
I bring the dopamine.
I bring the zen.
I bring the dopamine.
I bring the zen.
I bring the dopamine.
I bring the zen.
And I bring the dopamine.
We Another Mother Poddio. Hey.
Another Mother Poddio.
Hey.
Hey.
We know y'all missed that. I hope that ain't why y'all ain't been paying. They was like, they love that little intro.
I know.
Listen, our single coffee tea or me is on sale right now, as
Yep.
well as Bougie, and it's all right. We appreciate you guys checking out those tracks, streaming them, playing them, because as you know, Buckle Your Seatbelts is coming up in Las Vegas, July 26th. If you have not got your tickets,
Yep.
go to my website, officiallisarenee.org. Again, officiallisarenee.org, and get your tickets today. It is going to be an out of sight show, singing, dancing, unbelievable acting, emotional jerking. And if you guys haven't seen my skit today, that's kind of a little touch of what's going to actually happen in the show. So if you
Word.
haven't checked out the skit Bottled Water, check that out. And lastly, but most importantly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you care. All right, guys,
Yeah.
let's get into it. So let's talk about Clarissa,
Mm-mm.
Remy Ma,
Mm-mm.
and Papoose. So we're going to start
Mm-mm.
with Clarissa. And if you
Okay.
guys don't know anything about Clarissa, Clarissa is a
Man.
boxer.
Man, stop it.
Okay? A bad boxer. She had a movie out last year, right? Right at the end of last year about her life story. This is a girl that's worked very, very hard. And
Mm-hmm.
how she stayed out of trouble and really dealt with her anger is through boxing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really proud of her when you know a little bit about her story and how she is just blossoming into this amazing woman. But check this out. She has a big fight happening. Guess what date? July 26th. All right. But I
Dang.
figured boxing fans, Lisa Renee fans, two different eras, so not a big thing. So go and support Clarissa. But if you like singing and dancing
Mm.
and acting, I
Mm-hmm.
need you to come to buckle your seatbelts. And I promise you, I will sound a hell of a lot better than I will right now.
Still sounding better 90% of them. Don't even trip.
So anyway, Clarissa was on the Breakfast Club talking about her fight and obviously, talking about other things. And so, someone asked a question. I believe it was Jess Hilarious that had asked a question a little bit about a relationship, but Clarissa was trying to avoid going down there. She just kind of was like, we won't discuss the elephant in the room. But good old Charlemagne the God, Wendy
Mm.
Williams' protege. Are you
Mm.
talking about that marriage, him being married? You talking about Remy Ma? Charlemagne did exactly what an interviewer is going to do. We're going to keep probing you until we get what we need to get out. However, from a publicist standpoint, that's where Clarissa, you get your publicist to let them know they can't ask them questions, but the Breakfast Club is
Facts.
probably still going to ask them
Facts.
questions anyway.
Facts.
That's what's made them successful, and they've been around for a long time. However, because of that being brought up, she did her best to kind of skirt around it and dance around it. I really thought, based on her age, and not saying that she's a baby, but at 30, what you know at 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70, 80 is completely different. But I thought at her age, I thought she did really good to kind of skirt around it and be as respectful as she could towards Papoose as well as Remy Ma. However, honey,
Mm.
Remy Ma said, no, 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 don't talk about me. Don't skirt around the subject. Don't even blink my name, okay? Because if you do, I am going to lay Papoose out. Every time you bring up this situation, I'm going to drag him. And that she did,
Mhm.
okay? So she went live, and Remy Ma probably shared more than a lot of us really wanted to hear. And a lot of us, and I'll just be very honest, I have so much love for Remy Ma, but honestly, if I was her girl, I'd be like, sis, keep that off. Keep
Right,
keep keep that off
right.
the social media chats. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
she was trying to skirt around it. It wasn't her that led down that path. It was really Charlemagne the God that tried to lead her down that path. But when Remy Ma went there, Papoose said, oh, ma'am, I
Mhm.
just filed for divorce. Sign them papers, okay?
Mm.
And then
Mm.
not only did he post it, he said, I'm about to go live too. Since you want to go live, let us go live. Papoose started to spill the beans. I said he spilled the deeds. He was like, she's not only sleeping with that lame over there, she's sleeping with Shiro. We'll just call her Shiro. Okay,
Mm.
that's how we'll
Mm.
call her. You know,
Mm.
and so it really got, in all fairness and all seriousness, it just got ugly. You know, it really got ugly in a sense of when people are hurt and broken, and this is my life coach hat that I'm talking now, when people are hurt and broken, this is why they act like that. And I'm not saying that Papoose doesn't love Clarissa in any type of way, but there is still some love and there's some unresolved issues between Remy Ma and Papoose. Because the only times people act that way when there are unresolved issues and it's tied to love. Crazy as it may sound,
Yeah.
in life coaching for a long time, it's tied to that. And again, I'm not saying he doesn't love Clarissa, but I'm
Mhm.
saying there's still some unresolved issues. It's not so much of what people say, it's also often sometimes they say things that they probably shouldn't say. And when you caught certain things that he said or she said, it told you very much so that love is really still there. And it makes sense. They've been together for what, 20 something odd years. Obviously, they've grown a family together. She had kids, he had kids. They brought them together. Those kids became their family, right? But here's what happened too. After Papoose went forward, and then Remy Ma, she even posted again, but then she tried to delete some stuff. Clarissa started posting. And this is where Clarissa's hive and her group should have been like, see, don't do that.
I bet.
Don't,
Yeah.
don't, don't. You doing too good in your career. And
Mhm.
really, to me, who I feel bad for is Clarissa. I feel really bad for her in this situation because the life experiences that Remy has, as well as Papoose has, she hasn't even had a chance to experience that. They're both parents. She hasn't had experience to even experience that as well. And even when you talk about now, y'all may not follow me on this, and well, I don't know if you are, but I'm going to take up for Remy in a sense too as well. If Remy Ma was messing with the lame, right? And let's say she was messing with the Shiro. You have to understand that Remy Ma was locked down for 20 years. So when you're locked down for 20 years, she didn't have the freedom to do certain things, to live certain things, to experience certain things. And sometimes people have to go through those eras of their life to become who they are. Does anybody follow me on that? And I say that is because when you're in your 20s, let's be honest. People try smoking pot, right? You know what I'm saying? People mess around with both sexes. I mean, if you talk to most 20 years old, they're messing with both sexes these days. In your 20s, people really figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. You guys are like, well, Remy Ma is not that. However, she was locked up for 20 something years. Do the math,
Mhm.
right? So when she was locked up in her, what age would she had been? Aunt Wow, like in her 20s, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
she might have been at a point, not that she didn't love Papoose, but she was just like, I'm feeling these things that I'm experimenting with these things and I'm doing these things. And even to her defense, she says, guys, we were not together. We had not slept in a bed together. The only people who did not know was the public. And I get that. They probably didn't want to put that out there because they were still trying to process that. So it could be very well that they weren't together, but they were living in the same household. I know that to be true because I've been through that. And wow, you know that.
For sure.
I've been through that. Like
Mhm.
we totally we're not together, but
Right.
because you have a house together, there's certain things you still have to do. But in the public, they're like, oh, you're messing around and you're doing, no, you're wrong. We're
Hmm.
not together. So I've been in that situation. So I know what Remy Ma is saying is very much true. They might have not have been together, guys. But if she was messing around with these people, give her a little bit of grace that she hasn't had the freedom that we've had to be able to experiment and do all of these things that that we've had the freedom to be able to do because we weren't locked down in our 20s. And in your 20s, you're still trying to figure things out on your own. But the whole situation for me is just really sad for their children, not just their young children, but their adult children too as well, right? It doesn't hurt any less because it's a young child. Your adult children are going to have to deal with people. They're going to ask questions about your parents going at it back and forth and the children having to take sides. So it's just really, really ugly overall. And I hope that the divorce goes through so that Clarissa and Papoose can go and be their best self. The last thing that I want to say is that I don't know if anybody's watched the clips where Papoose was rapping, and I don't think Clarissa knew it was about to be a rap about her, but it was. It was so beautiful. I don't know if people have saw the clips where Papoose is training Clarissa, or when they're out eating. When you look in her eyes, she has so much love and admiration for him. And from what we know of Papoose, the one thing I agree about Papoose, he's like celebrities try to act like y'all don't know him, but y'all do know him. And I do feel like Papoose has been a very chill type of person in the industry for the most part, which means I feel for Clarissa, she's probably safe once this drama gets past. I don't see Papoose playing with her heart in any type of way. I just really don't see that. And I hope he doesn't because she really seems like she loves him so, so much. And I would hate to see her get her heart broken, especially someone who's coming out with this amazing career. And we want to see her continue to win. And we hope she wins. I hope after my show that Clarissa and I both will be winning. You get me? Yeah.
Facts.
Get them tickets to buckle your seatbelts. Anyway, Aunt Weezy, I know that was a lot, but
Well,
it was a lot
no, you
that
did good.
happened that we had to talk about. What do you
No,
think
for
about
sure.
this situation?
For sure. For sure. First of all, he might want to do right because Clarissa might put tips on it. Yeah.
That
I
part.
mean, I mean, listen, I don't know if he can beat her up. I don't know if he can beat her up. So you might want to be right. You
That
might
part.
want to, act accordingly. I say that all jokingly. I actually saw. I think it was another broadcast. It wasn't Breakfast Club, but somebody else was saying that. Well, like, he can't whoop her. So I was just like, yo, Clarissa is she's a bad one. As far as
Bad to
that's
the bone.
concerned. Hey, listen,
Bad.
listen, don't run up on her. Run up on her, you might
Bad.
get taught a lesson. Male and female doesn't matter. On Remy and Papoose first, I liked them together. That was another couple I liked together.
Yeah.
Right? I liked them together. Remy went away for a while. She had to do her stretch at the height of her career, mind you, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is lean back? Like '03, which she hijacked the lean back session. I don't know if people know that story. Fat Joe had already had the song written, and she came in the studio, and she liked it so much. She told the engineer, "Hey man, get rid of that whatever verse Joe had." And I'm gonna spit on that. And then when Joe
Right.
came in there, he was listening. He was like, "Man, wait a minute, where my verse at?" They were like, "Man, you'll check it out." Then after he heard it, he was like, "Well, I can't get rid of it now." You know what I'm saying? Like R to the easy, M to the whiz eye. She killed that.
Yeah.
So I like them together. And I will say this because I wanted to say it when I got into my spill, but I might forget it. So I do want to mention this. Why? I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying by and large, why are we the only ones that always have to be airing our dirty laundry for the public? You want to know why they always got something to say about us? Because we give them the keys to the kingdom with no admission price. Like we don't make them do nothing. That's why they feel like they can do certain things, appropriate our culture in a certain way. Because
Oh
if
my
we see
God.
dollars or something, then we'll sell everything. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You don't see all that with them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I know there's been people who've had messy breakups. You know what I'm saying? Of others. And
Yeah.
I don't see all that. You don't see, Gwen Stefani and old boy that was in. Matter of fact, she just wrote a song about it, had a #1 hit, and they went on about their business, toured with it and everything.
They did. They
You know
did.
what I mean? They toured with it
They
and everything.
did.
That's when she was still with No Doubt.
Yeah.
Her and old boy broke up. She wrote a fire song to it. Look, I'm about to cuss. She wrote a fire song to it.
She did.
He's in the band. They
Yeah.
go make millions and millions of dollars. I understand everybody ain't gonna be like that, but I'm just saying every single time it has to go down like this, where we always got to be airing, that just can't be the. I think we mistake rap beefs
Yeah.
for actually how we have to function with one another, especially in relationships. Nobody else does that. So
But
on
you know
that
what,
tip,
Ann Wees, can I say this though? Because I think
sure,
you dropped something. What Gwen Stefani did, because I want to say Gwen, not that he didn't do it too, but she was the one that was cheated on. But when you're loyal to the goal, you suck it up, you figure it out, and you keep moving. And a
yeah,
lot of people that are in music groups, y'all need to learn from Gwen Stefani
man,
because she didn't quit and she didn't give up because she was loyal. She
man,
was loyal to the goal. And so when someone's loyal to the goal, they're going to get their check and have to figure it out. So learn from her. Don't break up the group because you got a difference. Just say we got to move forward and keep it going.
facts,
Yeah.
facts. Good interjection on that because that's true. And Gwen's a real one. I always like Gwen. Gwen's the truth. I like Gwen. But I bring that up as an example to say every single time I turn around, that's literally like when I was doing my research and watching it. I'm like, every time we turn around, like it's always us on the screen. Now we got to go back and forth. Remy Ma did an 80-minute live. Then Papoose came and she had to come. It's like, yo, man, listen, we don't get along. I don't like that, son. You know what I mean? You could even say that, but I'm gonna leave it at that, right? Type stuff. And it's just
Yeah.
like we've talked about it on the show. It's been a running theme. A lot of that kind of cultural integrity that we have amongst each other is just it's out the window for the
Yeah.
sake of likes and whatever's. If you feel like you've been like that with somebody and they're not respecting you, then just do better next time. It doesn't mean you
Yeah.
got to come out here and get crapped on. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like, yo, like we've all been through bad stuff. Like I said, Lisa was in the household with somebody when they were not together anymore. Lisa knows about my last relationship. It definitely didn't end well. I'm never gonna get up here and slander her or do anything like that. And I'm not even talking about here. I'm talking about amongst people that are common with us. I'm never. It's always, It's. I'm just saying we are always we're always the monkeys in the show. That's not me saying that. That's the perspective. We're
Don't take it
always the
wrong,
minstrel
guys.
show. We are always the tap dancers. That's why they promote certain music the way they do. That's why when you get conscious, that's why it becomes dangerous. We went through that whole thing. The Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl, it was all about the power of it. He didn't do nothing vulgar. Nobody did nothing vulgar, but yet it's polarizing because he's awake. So I'm
Right.
just saying, like, we got to be, that stuck out to me. That, like, all the time we up here airing our dirty laundry, like, come on, y'all, let's get a little more about ourselves.
Right.
I like Remy and Papoose both individually, and I liked y'all together. It made sense to me. I liked it. That was a hip
Absolutely.
hop couple, both dope. A lot. I know Papoose isn't as known as Remy on the face, but Papoose did write a lot of stuff.
And he called it out.
He
Like,
wrote a lot of stuff, and yeah, and
yeah.
I was gonna get to that. I mean, I'm not even talking about Remy. I'm talking about some of your favorite artists that you may not know, but he wrote a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Like Papoose is a real live person with the pen. That says a lot for me because I'm really snobby when it comes to lyricists, and he's one of the good ones. So, and Remy is too, especially as a female MC. She had the female MC thing going, but Remy spits. Now, if he said he wrote 90% of her stuff. I I wouldn't I'm not trying to discredit Papoose because he's super dope with the
Yeah.
pen, but also Remy's been super dope too. So I kind of feel
Yeah.
like Charlemagne in this instance, as a hip hop fan, I would like to see the receipts of that if that's true, right? Like
Yeah.
that piqued my interest more than anything because I'm like, yo, wait a minute, now we talking about, you know what I mean? We talk about, hey, this is my, like I just said, R to the, and not even that, the Annie Up remix. There's a lot of stuff Remy has came on Stuff and Shine. So,
Right.
um. But you guys have been together for years. He was with you throughout the whole thing. She mentioned something in her live about, when she got out, she went through his stuff. I guess indicated that he wasn't,
Faithful. Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't faithful during the whole time. But I don't want to say but. I ain't making no excuses for the man. You make a decision to be with somebody, you shouldn't be stepping out. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you were gone for a long time.
But
So,
isn't it true? But here's the thing but if that was an issue, it obviously wasn't an issue because you went back with him, right?
yeah,
Why
well,
is
you
it
never
only an
left.
issue? Why is it an issue now?
Right. That goes to my point
That
about airing the
that
dirty laundry. See what I'm saying? Great point.
yeah.
That's exactly my point. Why is it now why do we have to do that now?
To
You can even
sway
do
the
that.
jury. Let's just be honest. We're swaying the jury.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. We run to the court of public appeal right? We run to the court now. Now the public has to validate how I feel or how I've done stuff. That's a conversation you have with him. Hey, look here, ninja. Look, when I got out, you talking about me and you out here, man. Hey, man, when I got out, man, I went through your stuff. You know what I mean? Now, like you said, because she's been out for some years now. So now, all these years later, now you bringing all that up, like I feel you on that. That's exactly why I brought that up. So I don't really like that. I don't really like the tit for tat between the two of them, mainly because of the main point I made, but also again because I'm fans of both of y'all. I just as a person, I don't like to see. I know people like the beef. I don't like to see fans of people beefing. Like when Jay-Z and Nas were beefing, I wasn't the person who liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like it. I like both of y'all. Like what? Why y'all gotta beef? Why I gotta choose between one of y'all? Y'all both one of the best ever. Like that's like E40 and Too Short beefing. Are you kidding me? Like I'd make a call. Like y'all got to stop this right now. I don't want to have to choose between none of y'all. So I don't like to see it resort to this, especially when you've built all this life together.
Yes.
So I don't like that. And I do agree with you from the standpoint of you haven't even really lived yet like these people have. You know what I'm saying? Like Clarissa Shields, what is she, 30?
30.
What is Papoose and
47,
Remy? You know?
47, and I think Remy's either 44 or 42.
Correct. So y'all are, you know, we're way older. You know what I'm saying?
20 years. Yeah.
Both 20 years. And at 30, you probably had more life experiences than Clarissa did as far as relationships. Because Clarissa is an athlete and has been so focused and all that kind of stuff. You know, she's not out here in the streets like that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are hip hop stars. You guys are doing all this and that and the third, you know, like especially you, Papoose, like you know, you guys have had a lot more life experiences even at her 30 than she has at 30, let alone you guys being older to her. So then I do feel for her from that standpoint. I do feel for you. I understand what you're saying. Like, dang, now she's being thrown into the fire and all this other kind of stuff. But Clarissa's from the D, pause. She's from Detroit. And, you know, yeah. And Clarissa listen, Clarissa welcomes all comers. Male, female, you know what I mean? I will say that about that girl. She welcomes all comers. She had a back and forth with Cam. You know what I'm saying? It was from Cam with Cam and Mace from It Is What It Is. She had a back and forth with him. Wasn't afraid if it turned into some sort of see me somewhere type of thing. Like Clarissa's about that smoke. But relationship wise, it is a different thing, right? It's a new territory. No toughness can shield that.
Not her heart, because her heart is really, she's into it. Like I said, her eyes are so amiable. And I do want to say this really quickly, Aunt Wow, not to interject. A lot of people are getting on her about messing with him and he's still married. In my older self, I would not deal with someone who's still married. But I also know as my older self, some people are done. They just don't go through the paperwork. They're done. So even if you don't be with them, somebody is. You know what I'm saying? People are done, but sometimes the paperwork for certain things take a little bit longer. And so we get so stuck in these rules. You are married. That's just the paper, technically. If they ain't been together for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they're not together. They're not together. So let's please not make it like she's messing with someone who's messing with another person. Remy Ma is very much dealing with this other guy. They just need to get the technicality figured out. And that's it. So let's not do that to her. It is 2025, y'all.
Right.
It is not like Papoose was happily married to Remy Ma and Clarissa came in. Yes, he's married, but this is just the paperwork. And hey, y'all, Papoose already filed.
Oh yeah.
Done.
He already filed
and posted it.
And to her, talking about Remy's statement, they hadn't been together since 2022.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
They haven't been together.
Yeah.
That's a good point, because I think a lot of times we do get caught up in these technicalities, right?
We do, and they're beating up on her for that, and it really, you know what's happening, and a lot of times and this is for my single people, and I've been there, guys. Y'all want things to be perfect. You're gonna be wasting a lot of time till you old and gray, waiting for that to happen. I met a girl, guys, and don't forget your point, Aunt Wow. She was wanting so bad to be in a relationship. She asked me over and over and over. So I gave her a guy. I said, hey, this guy is good, owns his home, 2 cars, blah, 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 little ponytail. The only difference is he is a little shorter. Do you have a problem with that? No. She said, but what's his religion? And I told her what his religion was. She was like, no, I can only date Catholic. Yeah, my grandparents, my grandmother's 99, my grandfather's 89, two different religions, still going strong, still living, still married, and still
Man,
happy.
man.
Get off of the rule. She's
Yeah.
63. Now she's 63, way older than us. And
Oh,
I'm like, sis,
63?
she's 63. She looks
Mm,
great. She's on that carnivore diet, looks great. But what people, y'all, are allowing these rules to get in the
mm,
way.
mm,
And you're how do you know that you're not put on a person's journey for whatever reason? You got to sometimes live and let live,
mm-hmm,
right? Just because a
mm-hmm.
person has a religion, it doesn't make them a bad person. You can marry somebody with the same religion and it go this way. I've been there. So having the same religion means nothing. So for anybody who's single and really want to get into a relationship, I'm telling you, let the rules go. Let all the rules go. And I think that's what Clarissa is doing. She in her heart does not want to deal with someone who's married, but
Right.
she's also exercising something that many of us women can learn how to do, patience.
Facts. Facts.
I'm going to be patient, give this man the time to figure out his situation. And she made it very clear it ain't got nothing to do with me. And
Mm-hmm.
she's right.
Mm-hmm.
We can learn from her. Exercise patience, guys, when someone's going through a situation. If it ain't bothering you, if it ain't, keep it moving. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's your relationship. It's not everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
It's yours.
Because you can miss out on a lot following these rules. Like you said, the person you're talking about, the Catholic, he's not Catholic. So now you're eliminating somebody based on somebody's man-made rules that they instituted on you.
Ooh, you better shut up. You better shut up now.
Somebody's man-made rules,
Ooh,
somebody
you
else's
about to start a whole
ideology.
nother conversation. You about to
You know what
start
I'm
a whole
saying?
nother
I'm just saying.
conversation.
I'm gonna get
You,
back to it. But I just wanted to, double down on that. You gonna eliminate somebody because somebody's man-made rules? What? Are you kidding me? Nah. That goes against your internals right there. Because you don't even have anything. He's not Catholic. Well, that you need to have something internally. If I tell you I'm not messing with somebody, it's because they don't align with X, Y, and Z that has everything to do with me. They ain't got nothing to do with nobody else.
and David's been
So,
single for like 5 years, has a really nice home, nice cars, engineer, great job. Watches us. Hey, Brian. He
what up,
watches
Brian?
our show, matter of fact. He
Hey,
said,
listen.
it was
Hey,
so funny.
Brian. Hey, how old is Brian?
Brian, I want to say Brian might be he looks like he can be between 38 and I would say maybe 48. And he doesn't even look that old, but he
Hmm.
might be around 50s only because Julian's age group. But I think he's between his 30s and 40s.
Hey, man, where Brian located?
He is in the Delaware area.
Hey, man, shoot, we might have to talk offline. I might have to,
Have
I got
somebody for Brian.
I got
Yeah.
somebody, I got somebody that what I'm saying, does very well herself and would benefit from a great guy like that. You know what I mean? Hey,
Exactly.
hey,
Yeah. Brian said one day, y'all, he said he heard his TV talking and he's like, what's going on? He goes, I look up, it was you.
uh,
Another mother had a notification that came up. But and here it is, a good guy out there. And women are sleeping on it because of these rules. So
yeah, no, yeah, we're gonna have to talk offline about
yeah,
Brian. I might got
absolutely.
somebody for you, Brian. We'll see.
Okay,
I mean, it's
Brian.
your prerogative. It's your prerogative. Boom, boom, boom,
I
boom,
do
boom,
what I
boom,
want to
boom.
do. My
Yeah,
prerogative.
boom, boom,
Mm-mm.
boom, boom.
Do what I
Boom,
want
boom,
to
boom, boom,
do.
boom, 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 boom. So, so
Don't
yes,
say
I
I'm
just kind of wanted to double
50.
back down on that,
I don't
because that was a
give a
very good point.
damn.
Yeah.
That's my prerogative. They say I'm
Yay.
nasty,
Yay.
and I don't know the words.
Yeah,
Living
yeah,
girl is
that's
what
how
I
I
feel.
live.
Don't say
Some
the
ask the
question.
question, why am I so real?
You
They
made
really
it
don't
fake.
understand me. They
I
really
really
don't
don't
know the
give a
deal
damn.
about a brother
Woo!
trying hard to make it right. Not long to go. before I win this
Say what's
fight.
up?
Sing it.
Everybody's talking all the stuff about me. Why is this let me live?
Tell me why. I can see my own best this time.
If he don't stick to rapping, well, we get to sing it. Oh, it cracks
Hey, listen,
me
and
up.
I need this clip too, because I need this clip. I've been asking you about this clip. I've been asking myself to ask you about this clip too. And you need to send me the clip when we was in the studio making the song, and you was talking about me singing, and I said, what I'm gonna say right now, it's your fault. I never used to do this.
I do have that clip. I gotta send that to
Can
Dave.
you please send that to me?
Oh my God, y'all. We have a clip of us nonstop laughing because I was on this note every which way but the right note. And I finally got it. Jesus had to come down in the studio.
So simply. All this struggling. And then she just hits it matter-of-factly. Like, yes, that's what we've been talking about the last 2 hours. What do you mean? That one. Get in there right now.
It was the funniest.
We couldn't turn the record button. We couldn't hit the record button fast enough.
Oh my God,
get in there.
We were on the couch. When you have uncontrollable laughing. That is when we had uncontrollable laughing. Nonstop. And my project manager is like, I'm about to edit all of this out on this segment.
Yeah. It's your fault. So when I be doing it, it's you. You gave me one of the best singers on planet Earth. Oh yeah, and you can do it. I wasn't doing this before I met you and worked with you. But ever since, so she's stepping in. She's a baby to this. You guys have been through all this.
Yeah.
But I did notice something, that I'm just being funny because again, I like everybody. I really do. I like everybody involved. Clarissa's fighting July 26th. I knew she had a fight coming up. I didn't think it was July 26th. I'm gonna have to catch you on the rebound, baby. Sorry, I'm gonna be busy that day. But
Seatbelts. www.officiallisarenee.org. You can get your tickets there. Okay, go ahead.
Boom. So but it's funny, and I'm just being funny, but it's funny though. So Clarissa got back on and started saying stuff too. I don't know exactly what she said.
Yeah.
But and you can educate us. But the dynamic of it is funny. And again, I'm just being funny.
Burp right now on camera?
I tried to slide it in. You can really edit that out. The dynamic of it is
right?
I try to slide it. You know what I mean? Your observant tail. I try to slide it. You know what I mean? I try to. You see, I was just talking.
We're delirious right now.
I'm gonna zoom in and everything. It's gonna be all great.
I tried to slide it though. I even tried to go deep with the
manager, y'all. I got a shady project manager. So y'all know.
I tried to even go low with it. I tried to go like low, and she gonna catch that. I tried to even go low with it.
Just like that Chubby Chicks daggone review that posted. He gonna sit there and lead the party with Julia Tumbo. Hey, chubby girl, give me that chubby drink.
That's the part you need to leave in.
That's hilarious.
That's gold, David.
God.
That is gold. In fact, David, real quick, because I'll remember my point real quick. Do the Chubby Chicks promo. Let's give him the props because he went there.
Yes. So I went to visit. I don't know if you guys remember. I want to say it was about a month ago that we talked about Chubby Chicks restaurant, about harassment allegations going on, people leaving rats at their door, flooding their restaurant out.
Yeah.
And we spoke out against this type of hate. We are not for this type of hate at all. Another Mother, yes, we talk about celebrity news, but it's more informative. We are not about putting people down, downing people. And we're definitely going to speak against things that are idiocracy, just idiot type of situations that happen. So anyway, I finally got a chance to go to Chubby Chicks. And when I tell you, y'all mess with the wrong restaurant. When I say this food was so good, the customer service was so amazing. It was so funny because as I was walking in, the owner, Chef Kiera, was walking out.
Word. And
she told her staff to take care of me because Chef Kiera is smart. And a lot of y'all are sleeping on this. And I talked about this in my episode 1 of a flight attendant with an opinion. Don't underestimate social media.
Facts.
Y'all restaurants, y'all not looking at these Google reviews. You guys are fools. Social media is growing bigger and bigger. Technology is growing bigger and bigger. And if you don't get on top of it, you're going to be left behind. So I knew then that Chef Kiera was not only a smart cook, she's a smart business girl because she's like, I don't even know who this chick is. All I know, she's walking in my restaurant with a shirt that says, I'm legendary Lisa. Let
Mm.
me, can y'all get her something? And she said, just do me a favor. Whatever they give you, can you just talk about it? And we hope that from what this is what she said, just to give you an update. I said, has the harassment stopped? She says, yes, publicly, but they do
Oh,
feel that there's some things happening that they're going, we can't really put our hand on it, but we know where it's coming from.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she's saying not as big as it was before. And this wasn't Chef Kiera. This was a waitress that I talked to. She said there's some little things happening that they can't put their finger on, but they also can't blame them too. So I would encourage you guys, continue to support Chubby Chicks. The food, when I tell you guys, pink, have you ever seen pink syrup? Pink
Wow.
syrup. They have strawberry wings. So we go and we get buffalo wings,
What?
honey. No, they got strawberry wings. The wings
Word?
got strawberries on it, a strawberry drizzle. They got mango wings. So imagine a sweet but a sweet but hot sauce kind of mango on it.
Ooh.
Pancakes taste like they came out of grandma's kitchen. I have not had pancakes like that probably since I was like 6 or 7. That's the taste that they gave me. The food was, oh my, y'all saw, I had fried grits with a fried lobster on top,
Ooh.
shrimp, and
Ooh.
like a piece of tilapia. When you take a piece of
Oh,
fish with the
dang.
fried grits, and they
God.
put this sauce on it, guys, it was so good. The cook, if you're not a coffee lover, you still got to get the cookie butter coffee. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so, everything was so good. They had fried devil eggs with bacon like on it. I've never
Ooh.
tasted those.
Mm.
Never, ever. Some of the things that they've come up with, and the really cool thing that they do, it's BYOB. I didn't know that. So they have all these drinks. You bring your own alcohol and put it in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that already.
Exactly. And they do all
Be in
these,
there
they
getting
brought us so
toasty.
many, they brought us all these different cocktails, all these different platters to try. And a lot of that was on the house, a deep fried peach cobbler. I'm not a cobbler person. I like fruits. I don't like fruits in anything. Don't put fruits in anything, but I tried the peach cobbler and it was so good. It was so free and it was big, like massive, like this. Like
Yeah,
we got it frozen at home because it was so much food, guys. We probably got food for the week. We still got food at home that we had to freeze because we had to fly out of town today for Angel's graduation.
yeah.
Unbelievable. So thank you, Aunt Wild, for reminding me. Chubby Chicks, thank you for all the love, guys. Please continue. If you are in the Philadelphia area and you want some real good food, go to Chubby Chicks.
Word up.
Yeah, very,
Yeah,
very good. Thank you so much
yeah.
for reminding me of that.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to because you brought that up, and I'm like, nah, we got to give them they love. You know what I
Yes,
mean? We got to give
they
them
gave
they.
us a lot of love.
Oh,
Any
yeah,
last thoughts
wanted to
on
give them
Clarissa
that
and that
love.
before we move on?
Yeah, so what I wanted to say though, real quick is, and again, I'm just being funny, but when you said like Clarissa went back and said something, and then she said, well, anytime she said something, I'm coming after Papoose.
Yeah.
I noticed she didn't say she was coming after Clarissa.
But Remy Ma ain't no punk. Let's not forget why
Listen,
she
and
locked
I
up.
say that
Ain't
with
no
all due.
punk.
Listen,
But I
Remy,
know,
if
ain't nobody
anybody
messing
about
with
the
Clarissa.
smoke, it's Remy.
Yes.
Let's keep it a thou wow. Let's
True,
keep
for
it
sure.
all the way a thou wow.
Yeah.
And again, I'm being funny, Remy. I'm
Yeah,
just being
yeah,
funny. I'm just
exactly.
being funny. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. I am not trying to get into it with people I'm fans of. Now, if I'm not a fan of you and you don't like me, well then I wasn't a fan of you anyway. So then, whatever. But I am a huge Remy fan. But I just was chuckling at that. Just the funny guy, the
Shady
sitting
king.
around with my people bagging and joking type funny guy came out and was like, but I'm not indicating anything because Remy ain't no joke. I fully
Being a
understand
joke.
that.
But
But
Carissa is a professional boxer, and you do have to take that into
hey,
consideration.
listen,
Someone's
because
trained.
and
Yeah.
listen, Remy, I'll even the score if you will. So one of my best friends, real quick, and then we'll move on. One of my best friends, we were at the W Hotel in Hollywood years
Mhm.
ago. A few years ago, and it's been a while ago. But we were at the Hollywood Hotel, and Houston Alexander. I don't know if you guys know Houston Alexander, but he was a UFC fighter.
Mhm.
Brother, he came into the game, blazed the trails, and then he went on a little losing spree, and then he was out of there. So when he went on a little losing spree, he like lost like two or three in a row. We see him at the W, me and one of my best friends, we see him at the W, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh man, that's Houston Alexander right there. And
Hmm.
my boy was like, oh yeah, that is him. Oh yeah, he been losing. Hey, we should walk over there and tell him he sucks.
Oh,
I said, you can walk over there and tell him he sucks. You know what I'm saying? You can walk over there. If I walk by him and we make eye contact, you know what I'm gonna do? What's up, brother? Hey now, how you doing, man? Nice to see you. All right then, keep it moving. And guess what? I happened to go by the bar. We happened to cross each other. We made eye contact, and literally that's what I said. Hey man, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. What? I mean, I see y'all in here, man. Y'all doing your thing. Hey man, I see you, bro. Da 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 da, and keep it moving. So listen, that's mine too, Remy. If you want to talk, so because hey, I wasn't about to do. Listen, I'm not small. I'm 6'4", 240, 250. I work out, all the things. That's a professional fighter right there. I ain't no punk or
absolutely.
nothing. I ain't about to
Absolutely.
walk over there and tell him nothing other than "What's
Absolutely.
up, my brother? How you doing, man? How you living? You good? All right then, peace." So,
Absolutely. Because they have the training. He might have gotten beat from other fighters, but for average people, he's way above that, right? And so that's where Clarissa is. You could probably be able to fight, but this girl is trained. You know what I mean? We not messing with her. Okay. And she has youth on her side. Yeah. So we'll leave that. So, guys, if you are new to Join Another Mother, we do, like I stated before, we talk about celebrity news, but we're also an informative show. We go a lot deeper than that. We talk about health, we talk about sports, we try to inspire you, give you quotes from some of the greatest athletes or, scientists or just strong business people that are out there in the world. So we do hope that you stick with us. So this week, guys, as we approach summer, Memorial Day, we want to talk about things so that you can get summer body ready. And guess what? I had a chance to try Aunt Wheezy on yesterday.
what was that?
A Herbalife shake. Remember
Oh,
Herbalife?
I think I've had a Herbalife shake. I feel like Candace Ann had a Herbalife shake or
Oh
something when
yeah,
I
Candace
tried.
would have had a Herbalife. That's so
Yeah, I think
Candace.
Candace
She
Ann
would
had a
have.
Herbalife shake. Hey, and those things was good too. Now that I'm
Yeah, they're
thinking about it,
better
it was
now.
good.
Yeah, they're better now. And what they did innovative, which I really like, you know how you have Smoothie King and you got Jamba Juice? Herbalife has created little stores where you don't even have to make the shake. They make the shake for you, $6. And the shake is like this big, and you get a
Mm,
little tea with it too as well. And the tea is kind of just keep you fat burning, something for you to kind of sip on. And I mean, they got, Oreo cookie and fudge brownie shakes. Like
mm,
I
that
had a
sounds
fudge
great.
brownie shake with peanut butter in it. And then she put a little drizzle of chocolate on the side of it. And then my hairdresser had a banana waffle crunch. I didn't
Ooh,
have that one, but that even sounds good.
ooh.
So, no, if you guys think I'm a distributor, no, I'm not of Herbalife. We simply are just bringing you things week over week that we think would be really good. Because if you're busy, like I'm a flight attendant, I always don't have time to eat a sandwich, but I can sip a drink.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I can sip a
Facts.
drink. And the thing with Herbalife, I didn't know this story. I want to share this story. The owner ended up telling me the reason why Herbalife was actually inducted and came about was because the owner's mother had passed. She
Mm,
was trying to do all these diets and she was ended up getting herself sick to the point that she unfortunately lost the battle. And that is why he discovered and he created something that he thought would have a lot of minerals so that people's bodies would not become frail, people would not become sick, and his business has thrived for over 40 years.
word up.
And really the shakes are supposed to give you their best life. So the three things that they like to focus on is your total well-being and your no physical health, emotional well-being, and then financial opportunity for people that do want to get in, the business of actually selling the shakes. Again, that's not why I'm here. I'm really just trying to give you something that has been proven for over 40 years. I remember Herbalife as a little girl. I believe my mother had the canister in her, kitchen. It's still going strong after these days. And guys, it tastes a heck of a lot better. That shake was so good yesterday. And I also took, they have this thing called a donut shot, Aunt Wheezy. And the donut shot is supposed to curb your appetite. I had the donut shot around 4 p.m. and I didn't eat again today until I want to say maybe around 12 p.m.
Wow.
So it really curbed, and it wasn't like I was like not hungry. I was hungry, but not like excessive hungry, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So they have all these other supplements in conjunction with the shake. And
Hmm.
so if you are trying to do something where, I want to just kind of, replace one of my meals or replace two of my meals, they do recommend replacing two of your meals. I ain't cool with that. Nope, nope, nope. That doesn't work for me. I need to eat meals. I need to eat. I can do one shake. I'm good with that. But I don't like to replace a bunch of my meals because I feel like when you go back to eating, you tend to overeat. So
Facts. I
I
agree
would
with
always
that.
say, yeah, you got to do something that is livable for you. But
Yeah,
like for
for
lunch,
sure.
when I'm on the go, a good shake is always good. Shake that baby up and just keep it moving. Or even sometimes dinners because I have rehearsal, right? But I don't like to replace meals. But that is what they do. You also can come into one of their little stores and they will do a free consultation for you. And it's just a great program. And I like the fact that they're innovative where they've created like these smoothie shops where, because sometimes, the powder at home is not fun. But if you can
Hmm.
go to their store and they can put all these little, like she put chocolate chips in my thing. It was so good. If they can
Hmm.
make it really spicy for you, and I mean spicy, not like hot, but like, just juice it up where it looks
Hmm.
really good to the visual eye,
Hmm.
you might like it. And I mean, $6 is not bad, guys.
Yeah.
$6,
Hmm.
and they do have a vegan formula too as well. Say
Hmm.
for those who are vegan, they actually have a vegan formula now, and there's too many type of flavors for me to try. So if you guys have tried Herbalife, talk to me about it. If you're doing Herbalife, tell people in the comments if you think it's good or you don't think it's good. It is still science. We get that. Anytime something's processed, that's not the best thing. But if there is something you have to have processed, get something that's been around for at least 40 years.
Yeah, for real.
You know?
Because in 40 years, a lot of stuff that was really possible, really popular has came and went. I'm gonna look and see if they got one because I like go to like they got the smoothie, they got Jumbo Juice, they got Robex. I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with Robex.
I'm
Robex is
familiar with Robex. Yeah.
really good. But
Yeah.
I'm always on the look for a good shake because I like shakes. Like I like smoothies and
You do.
I've always liked shakes and smoothies. It's a way to get a lot, and you know what I mean, especially in situations like you said with time, and or if you want something that gives you everything you need, but you don't really feel like sitting down and having a meal. So I'm gonna look up and see if they have any near here because I'll absolutely try because I like shakes and stuff like that,
And your first
especially
one is free.
protein shakes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's really good for you. So
The first one is free, and I'll send you a picture. I have a card. And again, I'm not a distributor. She just gave me these cards to give out to people. So if you want them, guys, just DM me. I can send a picture of the card, and you get your first shake and your first tea for free
word.
just to try it, right? So if you guys want one, let me know and I can shoot a picture out to you so you guys actually have that. Again, I'm not getting anything from it. Normally, if I want you guys to do something, I will tell you and talk to you about it. Aunt Wow used to do muscle milk all the time. I don't
Sure,
know if he
sure,
still do
sure.
muscle milk, but he's honest when he says shake is all. He used to have this big, big, big container of muscle milk always underneath his counter that he would
Hmm.
do all the time.
Yep,
So yeah.
sure did.
All right, guys. So what's going on with Justin Bieber? A lot of fans are worried based on his, his latest appearance, I would have to say. He's looking really sick when people actually see him. Fans have expressed concern over his noticeably thinner appearance, his newly shaved buzz cut, leading to speculation about his health and personal lives. Over the past few weeks, images of Bieber looking visibly gaunt have circulated on social media. A lot of people feel like he is smoking like bongs. Like there's been pictures of him smoking bongs, touching himself, like, in that area, prompting fans to worry about his well being. While the singer has not yet addressed any health related issues publicly, his appearance has reignited conversation about his past struggles with Lyme disease and mental health challenges. Adding to the speculation, Bieber recently debuted his buzz cut, a sharp departure from his usual longer, more styled hair. While some fans appreciate the change, others see it as a sign of deeper personal struggles, as drastic hairstyle changes are sometimes linked to emotional or mental shifts. This is very true. A lot of times when people go through breakups, they do cut their hair. I don't know for men how men do it, but I know a lot of women when they break up, they do tend to cut their hair or go through another type of style change. So that's very true. Another layer to the concern is the ongoing speculation about his marriage to Hailey Bieber. Although the couple has been spotted together in recent outings, I think they were at a concert together. Rumors persist about possible tension between them. Neither Justin nor Hailey has addressed these rumors directly, but their public appearances together suggest that they are still united. Some of the fans have taken to platforms and say things, and they're saying things like Justin Bieber doesn't look like himself lately. Hope he's okay. Another person said Buzz Cut Bieber is back, but something seems off, wishing him the best. And then another person says people need to stop over analyzing. He's just changing up his style. Now, I did see a video, and this is from if you guys want to know, this is from musicessentials.com, just to quote that to be fair. But there was a video, I don't know if you saw it, Aunt Wow, when he was going to get coffee and then he just started to spaz out a little bit. And I don't mean spaz out in a negative way, but just like, leave me alone. All you guys want is money, 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 money. You know, and I didn't take it as a mental health breakdown. I took it more like a young boy when he started in the industry. And he's just tired. He's just tired of being bombarded. He's tired of always having to worry about everything he does in the spotlight. And that's kind of how I took that. But unfortunately, we know, you know, as much as you want the fame, it comes with the scrutiny too, as well. And so as an artist, you just have to know it just comes with the territory, although it's not very easy. Have you seen him in some pictures lately, Aunt
So
Weezy?
I seen the video that you're talking about, for sure, as far as when he was at, I don't know, it looked like they were at a Starbucks or something in
Yeah.
the people. I think because I think he was at Coachella, when that happened.
Yep, that's true.
Um
He was.
um yeah, so it's funny because one of Neva, she loves Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
And I will say, you know, I didn't Justin Bieber is just not somebody I was running to listen to.
Right.
But just because I'm just not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because, no reason, has nothing to do with Justin at all. I
Right.
will say though, as I've gotten more familiar with his catalog, Justin Bieber got bangers in there. Pause. He got some really good music,
He's good.
and I mean he can really
He's talented.
sing. Like
Yes.
he fits all the aesthetics, right? So that's kind of me for me. Like a lot of times when they fit in the bubblegum thing, it's like, oh, okay, you
Yeah.
fit in the Disney wannabe. Not even at a fault of them, but it's kind of like, hey, listen, for somebody I've long given props to, Justin Timberlake was kind of the same way. Like when he
Hmm.
first separated from NSYNC, it was like, oh, all right, whatever. And then you start listening to the music, I'm like, dang, this fool got slaps. Um, Justin Bieber the same way, right?
Yeah.
He came in, a little poppy, whatever, okay, under the Usher wing and all that, and that's a whole nother story separation, especially considering all the stuff going on with you know who. But
Yeah.
um you know and so a lot of people, actually, to just touch on that real quick, a lot of people are actually linking a lot of his behavior to those demons,
That's
actually.
true. I know.
um
Yeah.
and he's he hasn't really denied that. Like he's actually been pretty open, musically especially, in regards to a lot of those struggles of that
Right.
trauma. But
Right.
so yeah, he was just somebody. But then as you start to listen, like, man, even what's the Wiz Kid song? The one that was really popular. I don't need no other body. And then he did a version of that. Man, he killed that. So anyway, just as I mean, he can really play the drums. He can really, like, he's really, really talented. Like
He's
there's
really.
a
Did you see him performing with SZA? There was a
so
clip.
that's what I was getting
He was
to.
killing it.
So, but he was, first of all, because he again, being on this side of it now,
Yeah.
observing him, just as far as musically, I'm talking about musically.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, okay, yeah, I see you, brother. I didn't, I just didn't, I wasn't hating. I just didn't really go listen because I'm just like, oh, just the new Justin's out. I'm not going to
Yeah.
listen to that. But that's because I didn't know you were really talented. I didn't know you really had all that music on there. Oh, okay. You ain't just you look aesthetically like the puppet, but you are really, there's a thing, everybody go look it up. Uh, there's a clip when he's on Jimmy Fallon and he battles Questlove on the drums. I mean, and he
Mm.
murders it. Like Questlove.
Oh,
Now I know it was for the sake of TV. I'm sure Questlove could have went to a different.
right,
Questlove did it for the sake of TV. Like, oh, you
right.
got it. But no, he really like he's doing that thing. So there's that. But I will say this, even with respect to that, because Neva was pointing it out to like how he was really slunched over.
Yeah,
He forgot, like a lot of people were speculating that he might have been on fentanyl because you could see that he was missing his marks, which is why he started singing away from the mic. That's when SZA goes, grabs his face, and you could
yeah.
see he was
Lifting
appreciative,
them
kissing
up.
her hand, like,
Yeah.
thank you, sis, X, Y, and Z, which prompted Neva to say, see, I knew he needed to be with a sister anyway. But anyway, that's a whole other story. I've heard a lot of sisters say that, act
But
like,
have
he
you
need to be
seen
with
the
a sister.
videos? Have you seen the videos that people are doing like before a black girl, then after a black girl?
Oh God, those are classic. Neva got me on those. Those are classic.
Those
Those
things,
are
you see
classic.
the guy's hair all slick and
Oh, those are classic. And then there'll be ones, and then there's certain ones that's
oh
that,
my God,
and
it's
then
so
there's
funny.
certain ones that's that, and then because I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, and Neva, whenever you watch this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a white boy actually started that, like that movement. I think it was a
Really?
white dude who started that whole collection.
Well, then talk
Um,
about Lauren and Cameron for what Love is Blind. If
right,
you think about how he looked, I know, we were going to talk about them. Congratulations, they're pregnant.
right.
Well, Lauren's pregnant, but Cameron,
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're pregnant. You know what I'm
yeah, they're
saying?
pregnant. You can say they're
But
pregnant,
yeah, it
but
was just
yeah.
funny because she said that. She was like, "See, I knew when she said, see this,' and then it shows SZA, whatever, and he kisses her hand and all that. She was like, "See, I knew you needed to be with a sister. We're the only ones who can handle him." Um, but he did look. That was funny. But it was funny because I've heard a few sisters say that. A lot
Yeah,
of sisters like Justin Bieber, and I've
yeah,
heard a few sisters say that,
yeah.
like, he need to be with a sister.
Well,
So I
even
mean, he's with Haley.
Selena,
Haley, beautiful. Do your thing,
Yeah,
Haley. All the
yeah,
things, but
yeah.
the sister crew is out here like he need to be with a sister.
But he dated
Um,
Selena, so he obviously like women that
for
are
sure,
ethically ambiguous,
for
right?
sure,
He
for sure,
does. So yeah.
for sure. Um, but he did look thin. He did look, even with that, with respect to the video from a few months ago. He did look a lot. I
Thinner.
can see the concern
Absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely.
I can see the concern. He did not look very well. He
Yeah.
did look a lot, like you said, a little hunched over. He looked very. He didn't look very well. Now, Neva said that
Didn't he cancel
cancel.
his concert
He had
too?
to cancel his
Earlier?
concert
Mhm.
because he has bouts of. I don't know if this is the technical term. Well, maybe, I think you said Lyme's disease or whatever,
Yeah.
but it brings about like Bell's palsy, like on one side of his
Yeah,
face.
it does. Yeah.
So I know that he struggles with that a lot.
Yeah.
So you put that element in there, and then quiet as kept. There probably is, especially as you get older. I think when you're younger, you become bigger. I'm sure he struggled with it a lot all the way through, but
Yeah.
now it's kind of one of those things maybe where you're in life where you can't run from it all. You can't run from it anymore because you have. And Terrence Howard actually talked about this too when he was talking about not doing the Marvin Gaye thing.
Hmm.
He was talking about that because Bieber had came up and he said, well, you see how he's acting now? He's like, that's because of that decision, that trauma. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying it very empathetically, though. He wasn't dissing at all. He was
Yeah.
saying it very empathetically. And so I think
There's a
if
price
that is
sometimes.
what's
Yeah.
resurfacing, I think he's at a stage now. I don't know how old he is. I'm gonna guess 32 or 33 or whatever.
Yeah.
But you've accomplished everything now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So now you're at the mountaintop. So now you can't, there's not the track to distract you or maybe bury it like you once did. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're not burying
So
anything.
busy. Yeah.
You
And
know,
they
now
sold his
you have
catalog.
all the money, you have all the things.
Yeah.
So now you
Well,
can't,
I don't know
huh?
about the money because he
Well,
had
I
to sell
know,
his
I know.
catalog too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
I'm saying though, you've
But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, you've reached the mountaintop. So
Yeah.
now there isn't that distraction, right? Like
Yeah.
I think success, the road to that platform, I'm sure he's had to battle with it a lot because he's had erratic behavior for years.
Right.
But I think as you get older now, you have kids now, and and listen, with all this stuff going on now, that could be very triggering for him,
Absolutely.
right?
And what people tend to forget that we're all just trying to navigate life the best way we all know how.
Right.
And so if he is going through marriage problems, that's normal. You know what I mean? Relationships have challenges at times. That's very normal. But unfortunately, people scrutinize every little thing, which is just unfortunate because he can't just grow up doing normal things that we all go through without people really breaking it down. And so I pray for him. Everyone we've really talked about, even Remy, Papoose, Clarissa, all of
Oh,
those
for
same
sure.
situations too as well. But again, congratulations to Lauren and Cameron for what is that show?
Love is blind.
Love is Blind
Yeah.
on their first child. They are one of the couples who are really lasting. The show really worked out for them. And they didn't just rush into babyhood. They've really taken their time to get to know each other. And we are so happy for this baby. This baby is going to be so loved and so spoiled because
Hmm.
we really have seen them do the work and have fun as a couple first. And now they have their child in to be able to have a great time. So I'm really just happy for them. So let's get into the updates. So Sean Diddy Updates. Honey, his assistant has spilled the beans. So we are in the third week, I believe, of Sean Diddy, and his former assistant testified. So an ex-employee of Sean Diddy Combs testified in his sex trafficking trial under the pseudonym Mia. She said that the music mogul physically and sexually assaulted her repeatedly when she worked for him, and she felt trapped with no safe way to report the abuse per CNN. Mia is the latest witness to accuse Combs of various forms of abuse. Cassie Ventura, Combs' former girlfriend, and the prosecution star witness gave nearly 20 hours of often graphic
Ooh,
testimony about the physical and sexual abuse. And congratulations to Cassie. She is now a mother of three. She just welcomed a baby boy along
wow.
with her two beautiful little girls.
Wow.
Combs has pleaded not guilty. Okay. Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that include racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. If convicted on all these accounts, he could face up to life in prison. The last time we talked, I know we talked a little bit about Kid Cudi. Remember, we talked a little bit about that and how his car, they put like I don't know if you call it a type of mocktail or some type of
Hmm.
tail where you throw it in the car and, his,
Hmm.
his car, we heard about it, but we actually saw the physical proof of everything that has happened. And so this assistant, it was really weird with her testimony. Although I do believe that she supported Cassie, there was ways too that it was almost like she was saying like Cassie was jealous of her. I don't know if you picked that up, and that she almost had this like admiration with P Diddy, and it's really crazy to see how he treated her as well as her being a witness of Cassie, how she still had a crush on him and how she admired him. It just was weird how someone can have that much control. He had fired her, rehired her, fired her, rehired her. She couldn't get a job nowhere. She almost felt like she had to do what she had to do because she was a mother of a child. But it was just really weird. But if anybody is in any doubt about who Sean Diddy is behind these closed doors, you are blind. And that's all I got to say on that. And I know now we have the LAPD coming up, federal investigation coming up to talk about what happened with Kid Capri in the investigation, because it seems like some things have been lost in the investigation. And because of that, they're trying to kick Kid Capri's whole testimony out, which is just some bull crap.
Right. Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi,
Um,
I'm sorry, you Kid
yeah,
Capri.
because
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kid
Let's not
Capri,
get
he
that
might,
because Kid Capri,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait a
no,
minute,
yeah,
girl,
Kid Capri gonna be
get
like,
me
nah,
together. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
get me
yeah, yeah, no,
together. Thank you.
nah,
Yeah.
yeah, nah.
So
Kid Cudi go, I mean, Kid Capri gonna be like, what?
the it's gonna
Kid Cudi.
generate attention, Kid Cudi. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sweetheart.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Capri.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Well, just to touch on, like I said, we don't have to stay here a whole lot of time. But it's funny when you were saying like the graphic details,
Yeah.
but yet there was still like some admiration. I think that's how it works,
Mm.
right? I mean, think about it. Like if when someone, male or female, but in this dynamic, most of the time it's female, right?
Yeah.
When they're in that type of atmosphere, imagine the every single thing, there's every single thing that's happening to that
Yeah.
person is an angle.
Yeah.
So in this case, sorry, because you are the accused, Sean Combs, but in this case, Sean Combs, I didn't that time. I held it in. I just took a deep breath. See how she do me, David, right? Pause. You know what I'm saying? You see, is it a pause if it's with a lady though? Anyway, but that's the cycle of it though. Like anybody
I
who's getting
agree.
abused, anyone who's getting
I
abused,
agree.
that's one of the things. They make excuses for that person
Yeah.
because every single thing that they do is a calculated angle,
Yeah.
right? They're reinforcing that manipulation at every single turn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's literally what they're doing. They're reinforcing that manipulation at every single turn. Every single thing
That's
that that
true.
accuser is doing is reinforcing the manipulation that they are aiming to get across. You want her to be at your beck and call, and you are in a person who had positions to affect her being able to go anywhere else. So there are gonna be moments of, where she is admiring you because you were a force to be reckoned with
Mm.
when you were free. Like you were able to do, you accomplished a lot in the business world. That's a lot to be admired if somebody's close to you and paying attention
Yeah.
outside of all the other rigmarole stuff that's going on.
Absolutely.
But like, there's a lot, even with Cassie being jealous of her or her feeling like Cassie was probably jealous of her. Well, Cassie was under the same spell.
Yeah.
And I'm in here going through all this and you know what's going on. And then he's over here showing you favor. Yeah, I can see why she would feel like that or how that could be the case.
Yeah.
That's not unheard of
Yeah.
because as much as, we root for Cassie, as beautiful as Cassie is and all the things, like you were there for a very long time.
That was a vicious cycle. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and in all cycles, right? We just
Yeah.
be happen to talk about this because this is one of the most famous people in the world, and now the other people now are becoming famous and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
in any relationship, it takes that person. If the person ever leaves, look how long it takes.
Yeah.
They stay there forever because
Yeah.
they're constantly making excuses for why that person is doing them this way because
Yeah.
of the constant manipulation. As somebody who's been around people who, even if it's not physical abuse, if it's emotional, if it's mental, every single thing that is done is
Yeah.
an angle.
Yeah.
I know people that go through this all the time, both males and females, where that person at every single angle is their goal is to keep you in place. So in order
Control.
to do that, there has to be an angle all the time.
Yeah.
Even in the times that are quote unquote good, that's the setup to be able to come do all they've done is bought a leash of time to be
Yeah.
able to come and do the rigmarole stuff that they do,
Yeah.
to do the
Yeah.
wretched stuff that they do, to do the most scandalous things that they can do.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back and there's a cycle as the world goes round. And then
Mhm.
there'll be these times,
Mhm.
as treacherous as Diddy is being accused of, which it seems like is the case. I mean, you can't, I find it hard to believe that you can call 100 people to the stand and they all give these graphic details and all of a sudden it's everybody else, but not you. I find it hard to believe, you know, guilty until, I mean, innocent until proven guilty. I'm just saying, right? But even
Guilty
with
was the
that,
case that they gave me. I'm in
hey,
California,
hey,
honey,
hey,
in my
listen,
Snoop
I'm just
Dogg voice.
saying, just saying. Um,
Yeah.
but not every moment, there were terrible moments for sure, as we
Yeah.
seen, like I said, obviously for the video or whatever, but you have to balance it out with some moments that are good, right?
Yeah.
In order to carry on your manipulation. There has
Absolutely.
to be some. More moments are going to be bad than good, but there has to be some because that's how you carry out the manipulation. See what I'm
That is
saying?
true.
So
And
I'm
he's
not
done a
very
lot of good things
surprised at that
too.
dynamic
Yeah.
that she was laying out because as
Yeah.
the main person who was getting, it's just like this is, I hate to use this example, but real quick, and then please
No, you're
keep
good.
your thought.
You're good.
But it's just like, and I don't even want to cast no aspersions because, what I'm saying, hey, listen, I don't even want to cast no aspersions, but it's just like somebody who's a pimp and they have these women who go and do their deeds and then they come back. I'm sure in that there is negative reinforcement to be able to get them to go do what they're doing at times when they get out of line. You hear them talk about it all the time. American Pimp is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's simply because of the talking they talk. I don't agree with anything they say, but I'm talking about the talk and we quote it all the time. But I'm saying there has to there that level to get them to do that, there has to be that reinforcement in there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of same kind of thing. They stick up for the pimp all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and then if one girl's later with a bottom chick, and then another girl, which is if you, for y'all that don't know, the bottom chick means that's the one. Like when it's all said and done, that's your main one, right? She's my down. That's the most down. That's why they say the bottom chick. She's my down. That's my
Yeah.
down girl.
Yeah.
And then somebody else come in, and then he getting to treating her like she's the bottom. Well, she gonna be jealous of
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? She
Mhm.
gonna be jealous of that. Now, in the context of that relationship, it's not all kind of flowers and none of that. It's a
Right.
whole bunch of negative reinforcement.
Right.
But she's gonna be jealous of the new person coming in and who's this woo woo woo. Which
Yeah.
is why I'm saying I understand how it sounds on the surface with people saying like, the testimony and she's saying that she's,
Mhm.
feels like Cassie might have been jealous of her and you're focusing on all the stuff, which is absolutely what you should be focused on. But I'm saying stripping out away and really just getting to the dynamics of the situation. Yeah, I could see that because Cassie's over here probably feeling like, man, I'm over here taking all this abuse. And now
Yeah.
you coming in here and he's giving you all this. Nah, I ain't been over here taking this abuse for nothing.
Yeah.
So, but there's gonna be more graphic details to come. Stay tuned. Buckle your seatbelts, but not in that way. July 26th at the Space in Las Vegas, 8 p.m.
Hey.
Buckle your seatbelts for that.
How about that? And I was just going to say too, when a person is bad in a lot of areas, it doesn't mean that they're bad in all areas. And I think about one thing that I was really proud of Diddy doing is when it came to voting. There was one time he was a big advocate on making sure that people get out and vote. And so unfortunately, we've heard of how he became, I mean, I hate to say this, but like a monster, right? In a sense that's the way these details are coming out, that it's become a monster, but a person can't become a monster by themselves. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
And so, when you become that way, it is because people around you have enabled you to become this way. And so there are many people who play part in these things that have happened, to Diddy being who he is, who he's become, and what he's done to others. It's more than just him.
for sure. And real quick to even on that too, because you brought up something which I'd be remiss not to bring up because a lot of the theorists, especially Afro-American theorists, do bring this up. And it's just a very interesting point. We ain't got to stay here. But on the vote tip that you said, first of all, the system that you're a part of, the exclusive club that you're a part of,
Mhm.
enables them to be that way. He
Mhm.
wouldn't be able to do this like this if he were ready. You were part of the system, and because you were in a certain percentage of club, you're able to go to certain country clubs. That's it. And that happens in a lot of them country clubs. The difference is
Yeah.
they have the protection of being in the country club that you were given a temporary pass to. See, a lot of times when I brought this up, we talked about this before, even with relationship to Diddy. We talked about this before when it comes to my brother Shannon Sharp, all the things. But I will say this because you brought up the voting thing. Diddy was poised to make a huge power move
Mhm.
before this election, the last election, as far as forming a black political party, and he made it very clear that he had a lot of backing from a lot of people, and a lot of those people were not black, which means you really have backing now. I hate to
Right.
sound like that, but it's
Right.
real. You really had the backing of the infrastructure,
Mhm.
right? Who was funding this. You
Right.
were informed, You had definite things, actions you were going to take. You had a very well laid out plan and what you were going to do.
Yeah.
That happened along with the liquor dispute with somebody who's in the club who's probably thinking, how dare you? You know all the stuff we have on you because you're in the club and you want to go against one of us. You weren't here permanently to begin with.
Right.
And so then the stuff happens. So I only say that to say everyone, we need to keep our eye on the system because
Mm.
that is, I'm sure there are plenty of people who have a lot to say about a lot of people.
Yeah.
This does not, he is not innocent by any means. The stuff is terrible. I, well, I won't even go into, but me and Lisa had conversations about this kind of stuff for years.
Yes.
Like I've had a conversation with my homeboy about it. And I'm like, yo, this stuff been going on. We've
Right.
always heard kind of through the trees and the vape grinds of certain things going on.
Yep.
So I, by one, am not excusing at all by any
Absolutely.
means anything because you've done you. Hey, what do you? You're doing wrong. You're doing wrong. You're doing wrong. You're doing wrong. So now it's your time. You probably got arrogant in the power that you have, unfortunately, and now here we are, right?
Yeah.
But the bouncing ball of timing goes as such. You had a liquor dispute, you went, sued, maybe even won, and then you're talking about doing this black political party because you're gonna make this certain moves and you want to have this effect,
Mhm.
and now feds are kicking in your door and all that kind of stuff. So I just said that because you said about the good things and getting people out to vote and all that kind of stuff. That's also what he was doing also. So again, pay attention to the bouncing ball, everybody, because it's real.
Absolutely. And that's the beautiful thing if you're new joining us at Another Mother. We have different perspectives. Aunt Wow and I, we also share some of the same perspectives, but we also, I feel like, are culturally astute enough to step away from a situation and look at a person in totality and not just this one area. And I would encourage everyone to do that. Sometimes we only see things in one lens, and the way that you grow and expound in your maturity is looking at things sometimes in a big picture aspect,
Mm,
right? This is a part of a person's life. This is a part of the person's life. This is a person's life. This is a person's life. Like I said, we can be horrible in this one area, but we also can be amazing in other areas too, as well. And remember that everyone lives a full life, and their full life details a lot of different things. And we shouldn't forget about all those different things because at the end of the day, and again, not making excuses for anyone, none of us, there is no one who will leave this earth doing everything right,
yeah,
doing everything right. So we'll leave it at that. Good
yeah,
updates with that, Aunt Weezy. Thank you so much. So we're going to talk about something that I am really excited about because it hits really close home to me. So as many people know, I talked about my son, Angel Renee, but my son just did something super amazing, and he dropped a CD called How to Live a Beautiful Life. When I say I am so impressed with this album, this is such a beautiful piece of art. A guy on the airplane today, he said, how would you describe his music? And it was really hard to describe Angel's music. But what I will say, if Prince was still around, he would be very proud. Because I would say, and I'm sure Aunt Wow would agree with me, Angel would be like a prince, wouldn't you say, in this time and day? How he plays all the instruments, how he has this different sound, how he stands in his own strength and confidence of who he is. And I am just so impressed. As you can see, here are some of the songs that Angel wrote. The first track we're looking at is Yes, Everywhere in Between was his very first video that he produced and directed. GE Con 100, Why Do You Sleep with Your Eyes Open? That's one of my favorites. Everywhere in Between is one of my favorites. Watching has become one of my favorites. I mean, these songs are so good. Change, SOS. A lot of times we don't make these type of to me it's like a music score. It's more than just a CD. It's oh, I love Foreverly Yours. I think you're showing Foreverly Yours. Dear
That one
Me,
and
I love.
Dear Me
Oh,
is
I love Dear Me. Dear
my
Me hits
God.
me.
Woo wee.
It's
Dear Me is
personal.
something else.
Yeah, Dear Me is really
Woo.
personal. It's very personal. And what he did, one of my favorite songs from Angel is Masterpiece. He did another version of Masterpiece, guys. And I tell you, I was ready to cry because I reminded him, I was on the phone with him last night. And I said, you know what's so strange? I said, I was listening to Masterpiece and tearing up. And I said, the strange thing is when you first did Masterpiece, the album covered, Angel covered his face. He says,
Mm.
oh my God, mom. So the masterpiece he made who he was then, and he's still showing the side of his face. So he's like, I'm not going to give you the full face. I'm still going to give you the side of the face.
Mhm.
And I like that he gave us the side of the face because to me, that shows evolution. It shows him actually growing. And then eventually there's probably going to be an album where he's looking straight forward and he's standing in his confidence. But where he is now, as a younger man, he's still out there figuring out and evolving. But he told me, he said, Mom, I had to make Masterpiece again. And I said, why, son? He said, because you're right. The boy that I was then, I'm different now. And he said, Masterpiece, now he can conclude it because he's very clear. I think the first, and then this is just me, he didn't confirm this. When he first did Masterpiece, I think he was questioning, am I God's masterpiece? But I
Mm.
think now he knows clearly he is God's masterpiece. He is
Mhm.
perfectly made exactly how he is supposed to be, how he's supposed to sound, all the instruments he plays, his smart brain. All of that is a part of who he's actually supposed to be. And I will tell you guys again, and Aunt Wow is my witness. Encourage your children to read.
Man,
Encourage your son to read. If there's anything anyone says, what did you do differently to Angel? Two things. We've read before he could talk.
man.
I had him at Barnes and Nobles. I've told this story every Sunday after church. He wanted that Starbucks drink. I said, well, if you want that Starbucks drink, you got to read. Oh, yay!
Mm, 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 mm.
And that was our thing. So every time we went, he knew he would get a drink if he read. And we're talking about 2 books up to 6 books. He would read so many books, and we would probably be there, and wow, like 2 to 4 hours, maybe
Easy,
sometimes, because you would join us.
for
And
sure. Easy.
easy, and he's continued to read throughout all of these years, and don't and my son has not had an easy life. He's had his struggles, and he tells his story so beautifully, and I love that he's not afraid to tell people the things that he had to go through and endure, because sometimes when you get divorced, we often think about our selfish selves, but we don't think about our children and how it impacts our children. And my son shares some of his struggles that he had to deal with, and I respect that story. I
Hmm.
respect that story at all, because at the end of the day, everyone know I was locked solid, loving my child regardless of what.
Man.
As every parent should. See, a lot of parents love their children for who they want them to be. I have always been the parent to love Angel for exactly who he is and
Hmm.
what he chooses to do. That's why when it came to his college, I said, I don't make that decision for my son. He makes that decision for himself, and I support him because this is his life, not mine.
Right.
This is his life, it's not mine. And so, on top of him deciding to go to Yale and do so well in Yale, because I know he's going to do well, but he know he has to buckle down. University is completely different than JC. He also made this beautiful piece, guys. And if you are in the San Diego area, California area, Orange County, talking to y'all, Irvine, La Jolla, Tustin, Orange County,
Long Beach.
yeah, even Long Beach. I know a little bit further out, right? That's
Yeah,
more of getting into Long
listen,
Beach County and LA County. Come to his concert. Go to angelrenee.com. Again, angelrenee.com. I mean, he's doing this concert. It is going to be done like an orchestra, full band. This child puts on an amazing show. If you have never seen Angel perform, it is like you are in an opera. I can't even
man.
explain it. Wow, you've been to his shows. His shows are I'm in awe as his mother, but not so much as his mother, just him as an artist.
Yeah, man.
Just him as an artist. If you just click his songs, you will see what we're talking about. Go stream his music. He's a child. He doesn't ask for much. He's just trying to make his way, make his living. So your streaming would help him with his books and things like that as he attempts to get an apartment, all those things in Yale College. Please stream his album. We appreciate that. And come to the show. He's got a couple of guest artists that's going to be there with him. And this is going to be a show of a lifetime as he gets ready to depart in one of his biggest adventures, which is going to Yale. I'm so proud of you, son. If you see this, me and Wow, who's like an
Man.
uncle to you, we are so, 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 so proud of you. This is a beautiful art piece, a beautiful work of art, a beautiful art piece. And as your mother, I couldn't have been more prouder, but just as an artist to an artist, job well done.
Man.
Job well done.
Very well done. Very well done. I'm inadvertently because my shirt, look, this is actually a burgundy shirt, but it actually looks red. That means I got to wear blue next week because you know me, I'm both sides. I'm
Right.
equal. You know what I mean? I'm both sides. You know what I'm saying? I got family on both sides. You know.
Yes.
So I didn't realize I was doing the burgundy thing, but I guess it was because it's resembling now the background color
Yes.
uh
Of the album cover.
of
Yes.
the album cover. So it was divine. But Angel is Angel so we went and saw Angel January 6th of 2024. Now, January 6th means a whole lot to me on that his show was on that day. You know what I'm saying? Big Chuck, you know, he gave the deuce sign on January 6th.
Mhm.
So his show was on January 6th, 2024, and this was right after a family tragedy we're still dealing with to
Yeah.
this day. A year and a half later, you know, but it was literally right on the heels of that. So your boy wasn't doing well at all. Wasn't doing well at all. You know what I'm saying? Didn't really feel like going. Not because I didn't feel like going, just because, you know, I know people are expecting me to be a certain way, and I wasn't, you know, I was having a really hard time.
Mm.
Sorry if you hear my voice cracking because it brings
It's
up
all
a lot of
right.
emotions.
It's all
But
right.
so we go and Angel performs, and it was okay. This is where we're gonna go from here. It's kind of one of them things. And I say that because the show this kid puts on, you know what I'm saying? Like you see him, awesome kid, all the things you could ask for, compliment, X, Y, and Z. But stature wise, his glow is enormous, right? But physically, Angel's not that big,
Yeah.
right? His glow is enormous. When he walks in, you're gonna know he's there because his regalness is enormous. But
Yes.
you know, stature, he's not like me. He's not 6'4". You know, say Lisa's 4'6". You heard me comment, you know, joke about that. No, you know, saying he's not too much taller than that. You know, I'm saying he is his mother's child. But so you know, and Angel's just Angel. He's always been just cool, chill, collected. You know, that was Neva's first time meeting him, X, Y, and Z. And this boy sits down and he hits a note, and that voice comes out. I'm talking about curtains, dog. I'm talking about you're almost like, where in the F is that coming from? because it is. I'm talking about. I mean, and it's piercing too.
That is
Like
interesting.
it's piercing. It's you don't have any choice. You could whoever was doing somebody was probably doing this at the time he started, and the minute that okay, it's immediate. It's immediate. It's you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And then you don't go back to it until the 20, 25 minutes then after he's done. Then you
yeah.
forgot, oh dang, I was sending a text. Like it's that. I mean, the piano
Yes,
craftsmanship. I mean, seeing him from piano recitals when he was a really young kid. I mean,
yes.
nah, man, this dude is, it was I never said this out loud, but that was that was a helpful launching pad, me being an artist myself. That was a helpful um reminder of the tools you're going to have to use yourself to try and get through whatever this is that you're going through. Like that's what that was. It was a helpful, see
Mhm.
again, voice cracking, sorry, but
Oh, no, no, you're good. Take your
it
time.
was a it was a it was a helpful reminder. It was I had to there was this lady who was filming and I chose not to. I filmed certain things, but I chose not to. First of all, I didn't really have room on my phone. But secondly, I was so fixated on the performance,
Yes.
I didn't want to, I didn't, it's great to live in this age where you have memories that you can literally create from this thing right here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It
Yeah.
is. As much as about the new school that I jokingly complain about, that part is awesome.
Yeah.
But you also at times can lose the you lose the importance of being present. And that was a time where I consciously chose to be present. Like I didn't want to be distracted by trying to pick up the phone and whatever. I saw this lady who graciously sent me all the links that she had created because she has a dumb uh phone that's not an Android. And so it was a difficult trying to get the stuff, but she sent it to me because I saw her, she literally recorded the whole thing. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna ask her. I don't know this lady from Adam. Luckily, her and her husband were cool as all outdoors. But I was just like, okay, I'm seeing her film and I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna be able to get it from her because I just want to receive this. And
Yeah.
so I have
Mm.
not had a chance to even express that to you, Lisa Renee, or I haven't had a chance to express it. I don't even know if I said this like this to Neva. Really, it was kind of my own personal thing. Like, and
Mm.
I don't, it wasn't even on purpose. Like, I'm going to keep this to myself. It was just kind of one of them things. Like, all right, well, I don't know how you're going to get through this, wild, but you know, this is a
Wow.
good place to try and start from. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, man, the music is this is what this is one of those things where it's like when it comes to the young, to the young folks out there, to the young artists out there, it's a salute. This is one of the salutes. Like, man, you guys are paying attention. He's not the only one. There's a ton of people like that, but he is even in that class of people. And I'm biased. I am
Yeah.
biased. I am biased. But even in those special class of people, he belongs in the room, right? He
Absolutely.
belongs in the room because there's not one thing he can't do. He can sing with the best of them. He can play with the best of them. I mean, he can sing with the best of them. His mom can sing with the best of them. So there you go. He
Thank
can play with the best of them. I mean, I, the music's on both sides, so he definitely can. He got that from another side too, as far as being
you.
able to. He can do all of that, top tier.
Yeah.
That just doesn't come around a lot with the music that he gives you that
Yeah.
you can soak in. So, yeah, man, I'm very, very proud. I'm very proud. And again, I'm biased, but I'm like Lisa in the standpoint of this is artist to artist.
Yeah.
right? Like I have a project I'm extremely proud of. Like after buckle your seatbelts, Lisa already know I'm going right into that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like we're going right into that release
It'll be a busy
process and
fall. Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I'm extremely like it's a score in itself. Like it's, I mean, me and Lisa are gonna sit with it, but we got busky seatbelts, but like Neva's her, like she's even it's a so I can relate to this. I can relate to the score. Not everybody puts together a score. It's a
That's what it
score,
is. It's a score. Yeah.
and it's kudos, man. It's
It
kudos.
really is.
It's really kudos. It's a very job well done, and I'm gonna take way less credit than your mom, but I'm gonna take whatever credit I can get for how you've turned out. I'm taking it
Yeah.
because very proud, my brother. Very proud.
And honestly, and wow, and Mom Deneen, a lot of people know this. I tapped on going through a divorce. A divorce is very difficult, and you need friends and family when you are a single parent. And you stepped in. Don't let me get choked up. Haircuts. Angel was taken care of. Working late. You had Angel. Taking them to IHOP, for me. You, my mother, I don't know how I would have been able to do that. You know what I mean? Taking
Yeah,
them to shows. I would go out of town, you guys, and Anthony would literally use his vacation just to be with us to make sure that we were safe
yeah,
so that I wasn't by myself as a single mom traveling, giving my child this experience. He would go just to make sure we would safe. And he would also yank Angel when he would become ungrateful and not realize the privilege that he had.
yeah, yeah. Had a great
Okay.
day. Had the nerve to complain at the
Wow,
very
would
end of the day.
yank him
You had a
up.
wonderful day.
Then he want to cut up.
Uh,
Okay. And so thank you. And when you see a mother who is single, you know what I mean? Help her out, especially if she has a boy. Boys need
Man.
to be around men. Because his father was in on I was on the Northern Cal, he was in Southern California.
Mhm.
And so, as much as he would see his dad, because his father has always been prevalent in his life, he still needed to see someone day in and
Right,
day out, And so, I'm
right.
so thankful for you just being a best friend. I mean, for over 20 something years, we've been friends. And I just thank God for that because
Yeah.
you were a big part, even financially, when things got tough. You were
Hmm.
there for us. And I am so thankful to you. So, yeah, you should take credit in his piano lessons and things like that because you was doing everything you could to see what we're actually seeing today. It truly does take a village to raise children.
For sure.
And when Angel was staying with me before he went to go live with his father, you were a big part of that. So thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So let's get into some sports.
So look, I'm gonna stop sharing now. The Timberwolves. So here's the thing, and again, I'm gonna go into this on my thing. I haven't had a chance. I've been buckled down doing all this stuff, so I haven't had a chance to do my talking my ass a lot. But I'm gonna talk about this, and we'll keep it moving because I know there's enough. I can go for hours on this. But the Timberwolves were eliminated last night and in 5 games to the Thunder. So the Thunder, congratulations, they go into the NBA Finals. Kudos. The game that's happening now actually is the series. And look, I'm so dedicated to work, I'm missing it to be with y'all. So and this is a crucial game. This is game 5. Celtics. I'm not Celtics. Sorry, Jason Tatum and them. But the Knicks and the Pacers. Sorry. And this is game 5. And the Knicks should have won last game to even it out, but this could be eliminator. Hopefully the Knicks win. I don't really care who wins. I just want to see it's a great series. The teams don't like each other. They're playing high level basketball. I just want to see it go get 7 games. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm saying that to say, and I love Ant-Man. Pause. But Ant-Man I feel like we're related some type of way. We're both Anthony's, so that's all. That's
Right.
automatically. That's automatically. But he's from Georgia. We got kind of a lot of the same similarity. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was 23, 20. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like there comes some type of way. It could be some stuff in there. I playfully say that, but I'm for real. Like even one of my boys said, like, man, you and Ant-Man could be related. I'm like, he do look like a lot of people in my family in the Georgia side of things. So I love Ant-Man, again, pause, but I'm saying that to say So we're going to have to see another level here. Here's what I mean. I mean this as a fan. And I'll just touch on it and then we'll move on. Because again, I can make this whole show about that. Um, the Thunder do have great pieces top to bottom, but so do you guys. You guys got through the Lakers from being bigger and stronger. You just were too big for the Lakers, and you closed out at the end of the games where they couldn't, having Luka and LeBron on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You got through the Warriors, but Steph got hurt. So maybe you may not have, right? Maybe not. Who knows? But Steph got hurt and he wasn't able to finish out the series after they won game one. And they just didn't. Jimmy Butler, I wish, would have been able to win one game. So Steph could have came back game six because there would have been a 4-day rest. But I digress. So now you get into this series. And there were a couple, the first two games you got blasted. The third game, you blasted them by 40. Fourth game was close. You lost. Fifth game last night, they ran y'all out the building. So now something is going to have to, at some point, Ant-Man, and maybe this is unfair. Maybe you don't feel like you have this. I don't know if you feel like maybe you have the squad that OKC has. I think you have a very good squad. I don't think there's that much of a difference other than the fact they're probably a little more dialed in than you guys. But I was I was looking forward to the series from a standpoint. I was expecting there to be a lot of like what Denver gave. I actually thought you guys had a real chance because Denver took them to 7 games and you guys weren't. You guys went 5 games, but they kind of handled Joe. So then that leads me to, okay, well, then what's the difference? Well, down the stretch, first of all, they got the Joker, meaning Denver. And down the stretch, with Jamal Murray being the playoff performer he is, there was a Denver. Denver lightweight ran out of gas. Aaron Gordon gets hurt. They don't win game 7. I mean, they might even get past the Thunder. So I'm saying there has to be something that needs to be addressed. And I don't know if I hope GMs don't automatically say, well, it's a personnel thing and we got to blow up the lineup. No, you guys made it to the Western Conference Finals for the second year in a row. Right. So now we got to start looking internally. And I'm only bringing Ant-Man up because he's not only the best player on the team, he's one of the best in the league. You're destined to be the face of the league. A lot of people compare you to Michael Jordan and a lot of the mental way in which you approach the game, which I'm not mad at. Again, I'm an enormous Anthony Edwards fan. So this is coming from a place of love because even if you didn't win this series, I was expecting, with Denver taking them to 7 and you guys having all that rest, I was expecting the Thunder to have to be in a dogfight to get up out of that series. And they had an easier time than they did against the Nuggets. And I feel like you guys were better than the Nuggets. So I don't know what the offseason looks like for you, Ant-Man, and maybe even Julius Randle too. But I thought Julius Randle played really well in the Lakers and the Warriors series. I didn't think the Thunder would be able to neutralize you guys as much as they did. So I feel like some type of way there has to be a dissection of the game and strategy, even if Chris Finch, the coach, which I like Chris Finch as the coach. I know you guys play hard for him. You guys have a lot of the pieces. You guys are long and strong, but you guys have a lot of length at all positions. You can really cross matchups. So then I think it's just a matter of the spirit of execution. And so that you guys got to get that dialed in because I would be very interested to see what that looks like in a game 7 in the conference finals. Because in the last conference finals last year, Dallas kind of ran y'all out the building too. I mean, the games were really close. Now, let me not say all of the games were close. Like Dallas just won down the stretch. Right. So with that experience, I was expecting another similar thing. It's not that you lost in 5. It's kind of the way that you lost, especially last night. And so there's something that needs to be addressed there. You have the height with Rudy Gobert. You got Julius Randle. Ant-Man's a monster. You know, you got a good bench and supporting cast. So then now it's a matter of let's not blow this up, but let's see exactly what it is we need to do because I feel like now is the time to make the next steps because the window isn't going to be forever. I know you're only 23. I know Julius Randle isn't that old. Rudy Gobert is probably early 30s. You still got a lot of time. and the big man's resurgent has the big man's importance has been reinstilled into the game, which has made the game better. It's made it a lot more compelling to watch.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of things. There's definitely a couple tweaks that need to happen from an approach standpoint, because I feel it's time for you guys to take the next step. And I want to see that as an Anthony Edwards fan, other than when you're paying the Kings. Hot. So.
Yeah. Very good. Very good, guys. So we're going to get into our inspirational quote. So our inspirational quote is from Leonardo da Vinci, and it says, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." Let me read that again.
Oof.
"It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment, aka successful people, rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." H, you want to take this, or you want me to go?
Man. Whew.
He's such a mess. I hope David put like a heart machine, like a a
Well,
little
again, this
turtle
could be
going
another
across the
hour show,
screen.
so I'm trying to put this together in 2 to 3 minutes. There's a lot of people, normal people. I'm not even talking about slackers. I'm not talking about bums. I'm not talking about anybody other than the people that we live amongst every day, us being included at times, I'm sure. This would have been really, really good. Not that I'm mad at hearing it today, because it resonates so differently. But I wish I was in the quotes and stuff, or wish I knew how to, because online wasn't the way it is now, so we can just
Yeah,
go online and get a
yeah,
quote. But
yeah.
I wish somebody, it would have been cool. Again, no regrets. Things happen the way they're supposed to. But it would have been cool though if somebody would have came at me with a list of quotes or stuff like when I was like 25. Because this one right here sits, right? Because nobody knows what you're doing unless you tell them. And there's nothing to tell anybody unless you're taking action, right? Nobody knows what you're doing unless you tell them. And there's nothing to tell them unless you're taking action. It's not just going to happen. Lisa and I are testimonies to that, right? You got to go happen to things, because guess what? The algorithm didn't start with the internet. The algorithm has been existing in the universe. The internet is copying the universe, not the other way around.
Ooh.
Algorithms have always been a part of how we move, which is why you always have people telling you, which is why my parents used to tell me, yo, be careful who you surround yourself by, because if you're around the wrong set of people, they can bring the wrong algorithms around you.
Ooh.
The internet is copying the universe, not the other way around. Algorithms, things of that nature, it's always existed. If you notice when you are coming up in life and you are on a certain mindset and you're attacking things a certain way, how that positive snowball happens. And then when you fall out of alignment and then you start being with the BS, how the negative snowballs happen. And because we live in a world that is fixated on negativity, it's easier for that algorithm to enter the universe, which is why it's so important that when you are on a positive algorithm, you stay on that and are relentless about it, even if it means you coming off a certain way, because it's harder to maintain that positive algorithm than it is the negative algorithm. Because if you turn on the news, What do we see? You know, I don't watch the news because I don't feel like being depressed all the time.
Yeah.
I never watch the news, and it's like, oh, so guess what? Angel Renee out of San Diego, this was his story. Man, he got this new album out. It's fire. It's this and that and the third. It's
Right.
going to be like, yeah, this person who had released this album last year and was doing X, Y, and Z. Well, this year, this is happening. And what happens? The trends go up. I can go on right now on Facebook and say, F so and so. And I'm going to get commented and all out. People are going to
Say that
engage.
again.
If I go on and be like, man, me and Lisa just finished this podcast, it's bomb. It'll be out tomorrow, 9 a.m., wherever you're at, might get a like. Maybe.
Crickets. It's positive. Oh no, it's positive. Positivity is contagious. We're gonna put that out there. Positivity is contagious. We will
And
put
that's
that
my
out
point.
there.
So with back to the quote, I say all that to say, if you have the negative algorithms around you, you may not have the vision to take the action that you need so that you can happen to things as opposed to things happening to you. See what I'm saying? You have to happen to things. My man Jones, pause. My boy Jones, Jamie Jones, shout out, told me this story when he was living down here. And there was this artist that they were working with. And they were shooting a video for her. And they were like downtown. They were like in Hollywood, like by the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And so they just had their cameras out and we just started taking pictures of her and video of her. She wasn't famous at all. Nobody knew who she was. But guess what? Everybody started, well, who's that? You know what I'm saying? Who's that? And then they just started wanting to be in pictures with her. Don't know who the heck she is.
Wow.
Started wanting to be in pictures of her. I always keep that story present because that's then, now look what you've done. Now you're happening to that.
Mhm.
Now you're creating that algorithm in the universe because now you're happening to it. If you ever notice when you go take action or whatever, I mean, I'm going to go do this. I don't care, whatever. I'll give a more relevant example. That's super duper bomb. Because Lisa didn't touch on this. When she went to the Chubby Chicks spot,
Mm-hmm.
something told her to go. She
Yeah.
didn't have that plan. Something
Nope.
told her to go. Now, if she didn't go, we wouldn't have talked about it on the podcast. There wouldn't have been that review that has 3,000 views. The person wouldn't have shared it. She got all kind of like. Few people have followed her. She left that part of the story out. That's happening to stuff. That's not waiting on it to happen to you. Right? That's happening to stuff. That's going and saying, okay, hey man, this thing is spinning. I want to be on it. Hey man, I want to get on this thing. I want to spin too. I don't want to just be sitting here
And
watching
doing
it
nothing.
spin.
How many people saw the news and didn't do nothing?
I want to sit here and watch it spin, man. Let me jump on here, man. I got a path people might want to follow too. That might help them and get where they need to get. Right? Because here's the reality. And this is something I have to drill into myself. I'm not talking at you. I promise you, I'm talking with you. I am talking with you. Somebody gonna need what you got to give, especially if you got something to give.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody gonna need it
Yeah.
for sure. 1,000%. Hey, I always say, and I'm copying Pac when he said this. I may not change the world, but I'm going to spark the mind of the person who changes the world. That's happening,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's getting out there and happening to things. Not waiting on things to happen to you. You can have all the ideas in the world. One of the cats I know is one of the smartest cats. He has all this stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things when we talk, all the stuff that I would tell him is I'm like, well, yo, because he'll have a lot of criticisms too. And I'll be like, just about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, dang, well, so what? And what I mean by that is, well, then what? You don't like how this person does this, you don't like this, you don't like this, you don't like that. But all I hear is a bunch of what I don't likes. Well, what is the solution to that?
Yeah.
Because I just hear a bunch of I don't likes. I don't like being the person that just don't like stuff. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there should be better music coming out there. So in November, I'm going to contribute. Lisa felt like there needed to be another perspective out here as far as the talent and how we can convey our talent. So July 26th, you're going to buckle your seatbelts. That's happening to things. That's not waiting on things happen. We can say, oh man, I got the stuff out and I want people to, hey, quiet as kept. The only reason I'm waiting till the fall is because we got buckle your seatbelts. Otherwise, I'd do it in August.
Absolutely.
But we got this project, then we're gonna move to the next one.
That's
like I can't
quarter.
wait to get it out.
This
But
is
we got
third
we
quarter.
gotta
That's
do
quarter.
things.
Yeah.
We gotta do things, how they're coming. So that's the perfect example. I told you I could go an hour on this, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut myself short. But that quote, it says a lot. And I'm telling you, I have this conversation a lot with a lot of different people. And I'm like, yo, the time is now. Ain't no other time now. And it ain't gonna happen. Nobody else is gonna make it. It's something I tell myself, everybody, nobody else is gonna do what you're gonna do because they can't do what you do.
Yeah.
Just like you can't do whatever's doing. Nobody's gonna do what you're doing though, in the way that you do it. So in order for it to happen, you gotta happen. You can't, and that's gonna come with a lot because a lot of people then all of a sudden have opinions when they're not doing anything. You notice that? Everybody got an opinion when they ain't doing stuff. Oh man, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. No, you should shut your trap.
How about that?
You listen to everyone else. You don't tell them what they should do.
Yeah.
Well, sit back and take a look. That's actually how I start the album. Hey, man, you give that F stuff a chance. Come sit back, man. Give me a little bit of your time. I promise you, I got some nuggets for you, right? Yeah. So that phrase means a lot. You got to take the bull by the horns. You got to take the bulls by the horns because it is not going to happen otherwise. I promise. Take it from two people who are. Take it from us.
And if you think about it, Aunt, wow, we started in the fourth quarter. We were on tour. We did the birthday party, and then we started Another Mother, and then buckle your seatbelts and back on the tour. So really, you kicked it off if you think about it. So guys, the inspirational quote says, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." Leonardo da Vinci. But think about an actor. I'm going to give a couple of synopses. An actor, at the beginning of this actor's career, they're like, oh, I want to get this part. Oh, I want to get this part. Oh, I want to get this part. And then they got all that experience. And they said, let me write and direct this. So now I'm no longer this actor saying, I want this part. Now I'm a director. I'm casting people. I'm writing things because I've been over here already. But now it's time for me to actually do this over here. Or if I'm Chef Kiera, and I don't know what her story is, but I'm sure she started cooking in her kitchen. And her friends and family started saying, girl, that's real good. And then she probably saying, well, God, if they really like it, why don't I take action and open up this restaurant to a wide spread of people that may like it? And what a lot of people do, you start doubting yourself. Well, what am I going to get the funding? And how is this going to look like? And what are people going to think? And what is this? And that's all doubt to stop you from where you're trying to go.
Right.
But you can sit back and think that these people were born in luxury, and some of them are. Some of them are. But a lot of people who are successful were not, if you knew their story. If you knew the story of artists that had to live together on top of one another, until they finally made it happen. If you hear the stories of the people that had to be on the bus traveling from this place to this place. Steve Harvey talked about his story and how he cried when he got $50 because there was validation of him going out and happening to things. You understand? Too many of you got dreams inside of you, but you keep going to jobs to 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, 10 to 7, and you're miserable, knowing that there is something bigger inside of you that you want to contribute to the universe. And what
Right.
we're trying to tell you, you can be on the sideline saying, I want to do it. Oh, I want somebody to give me a chance to do it. I please, please hire me. No, no, do it yourself.
Yeah.
And if you speak it, I'll talk about, I don't know anybody that listens to us that are in California, but there used to be this short pastor. He's had his little cute little curly ear fro. He's died now. And he died of COVID, unfortunately. His name was Frederick Casey Price. His son is running his church. And if you knew anything about Frederick Casey Price, Aunt Wow talked about the algorithm. He would always speak on faith. He would
Mm.
speak on faith. He would speak on faith. He would be like, you dummies, you talking about hope. I'm talking to you about faith. I'm telling you, go out and do the work, believe that it will happen, and it will happen.
Right. Right.
Believe that it will happen, and it will happen. See, a lot of people saw Frederick Casey Price in the Faith Dome, but you guys didn't know before the Faith Dome even came about, the church that came before that.
Right.
When his
Right.
children, he could barely take care of his family. He was trying to follow God's principles and things like that. And he's like, this is not working, until he heard about a man called Kenneth Hagin teaching
Mm.
on faith. Faith without works are dead.
Mm. Mm.
So some of y'all like, oh, I just know it's going to pop out of the sky. Boo, it's going to happen. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
I could have sat in all 2025 hoping, oh, I hope they hire me. They, ooh, bleep, 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 hire me. Or I could take
Uh,
all of my years of experience in music, in writing, my degrees in college, and I can pour it into myself.
right.
So I'm no longer on this side of beep, 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 hire me. Then now I'm on this side and I'm making the hiring decisions.
Right.
And like Frederick Casey Price told me, just believe. You create something where you saw a need. You see this gap that I saw in aviation workers.
Yeah.
And I saw these gap with passengers, and I'm like, nobody's clearing the gap.
Yeah.
But guess what God did? He's worked you on both sides. You've been a passenger for a long time, and you've been a flight attendant for some time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got eyes out of both perspectives. Now, how do you tie that all into one? You'll have to see on July
Yeah.
the 26th.
Word up.
So, guys, thank you so much for joining us on Another Mother. Please like,
Yep.
subscribe,
Yep.
and share if you care. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and we will see you next Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what time will they hear it on Pacific Standard Time?
6 a.m. PST.
We'll see you then. Bye, y'all. Bye. Bless.
Peace.